A look at this collection of football conversation we are ready for today. Neek and D. Wood, Bart Scott and Shefty ready to go as we bring you Thanksgiving football this morning to get your day started. And it starts with this. It starts with the game that will not be played today. The Ravens and Steelers, as you know by now, has been moved to Sunday afternoon. That decision coming after the COVID-19 outbreak among the Ravens worsened, and the league wants more time to conduct testing and contact tracing. Baltimore adding 3 more players to their reserve COVID list yesterday. The Ravens now have 7 players who've either tested positive or have been identified as close contacts. And then this is maybe the most important part. The team has disciplined a staff member in connection with the outbreak. So let me bring Adam Schefter into the conversation here. It always begins with Shefty with the latest. Shefty, what can you tell us about what's going on in Baltimore, particularly with this staffer?
Well, they are obviously looking into this and to see how this virus spread, as the league is always going to do with contact tracing. And they've identified the individual they think it started with, and now they'll see how and why this happened, why it led to basically the postponement of a game that was supposed to be in prime time tonight that now has been shifted to Sunday afternoon, 1:15, causing an awful lot of changes and an awful lot of Pittsburgh Steelers to be quite upset about this whole arrangement. So there's all sorts of fallout, and this is what the league has preached all year long, that the actions of one individual can impact everybody on an entire team, and in this particular case, 2 teams and a whole country that was waiting to watch that football game tonight. So we'll see what kind of discipline it leads to. We'll see what is the fallout from this particular situation, but obviously it's a situation that nobody wanted. You hope first and foremost that everybody's okay, that the virus doesn't spread, but now also you want answers and you want to make sure that something like this does not happen anywhere else anytime soon.
Right. The one thing we know for sure is they will not play tonight. We do not know with certainty that they'll be able to play Sunday, right? Can you pick up the thought from there? Where does it go from here?
Well, listen, the league planned to play this game on Thursday night, and you'll notice it said all week long, the status of this game remains unchanged. And that will be the case, Greeny, going forward with every game. The status will remain unchanged until it's changed. And so there'll be more testing that's done today and tomorrow and Saturday. But just like the positive tests within the Ravens organization grew from 1 to 3 to 5 to 7, we don't know that it's going to stop there. If it does, yes, they will play on Sunday. The status will be unchanged. But if there are more and more and more positives, and it makes it such that they can't play this game, well, you have your answer right there. So, again, the plan is to play Sunday 1:15. We're planning for that right now, and we'll see how the testing goes in the next 24, 48, 72 hours.
I think it's also important to remind everyone, or to let you know if you don't know, the Ravens are then supposed to play again next Thursday. Baltimore-Dallas is next Thursday's game. So there are a lot of moving parts here, and Shefty will keep us abreast of all of them. But you mentioned the Steelers are upset. Well, they were making no secret of that yesterday. Let me show you some of the reaction from Pittsburgh on social media. We see the first one. That's Chase Claypool. This came out just moments after the announcement of the postponement. He simply tweeted, "What a joke." Juju Smith-Schuster had lengthier thoughts. "First, the NFL takes away our bye week because another team can't get their COVID situation together. Now they take away our Thanksgiving primetime game for the same reason." Eric Ebron also posting thoughts yesterday saying, "I'm not going to lie, NFL, this is," and we can't show you the word that he says it is. So let me bring the rest of the crew in. And if you don't remember, the reason they're complaining about the bye week, their game against Tennessee much earlier this season had to wind up getting moved, and it cost the Steelers their bye week. So that's some context of why they're saying what they're saying. But Bart Scott, as you listen to these comments from the Pittsburgh Steelers, what thought goes through your mind?
They come off sounding like children, because you have to understand we're in the middle of a 100-year pandemic. They have to understand and read the temperature of the room. This virus is spreading all over the country, and they should feel blessed that they haven't been, exposed to it. But also understand, is this the unfair competitive advantage that you want when you talk about playing this great rivalry, which is the Baltimore Ravens and the Pittsburgh Steelers? This is one of the best rivalries in all of football, and this game has huge implications as far as the Ravens being able to have opportunity to go to the playoffs. So you want them to play without 7 of their players? Is that what makes you feel better? I think maybe what they did is they looked at the film and saw the fact that they got beat up last game. And it was the fact that Lamar Jackson turned the ball over in the red area, and not that they dominated the Ravens the first time around.
Dominic, what do you think?
I mean, I get where Bart's coming from, but I also understand being upset if I'm a Steelers player. Like, they feel like they have a Super Bowl caliber team, and they feel like they are in the lead in the AFC, and every game matters, and this stuff matters. To have your season disrupted twice, and I understand you got to read the temperature. It's a global pandemic. I understand all that. But by all reports, they are following the protocols. They are not having these major outbreaks. To have their season impacted, potentially championship season impacted on two separate occasions because of what seems to be some irresponsible behavior by their rivals, not even someone in their own locker room, like that would upset me. I can't be upset at the NFL necessarily because it seems like they're doing the right thing to try to protect these players and not expose them to this. But I understand being upset with the teams who can't get their COVID situation in order, and that impacting your team, impacting your potential undefeated season, impacting your potential first-round bye in the playoffs. That would really upset me.
It could wind up impacting that. We can get as far down the rabbit hole on this as we want to, but this is one of the things that could trigger the mechanism by which 8 teams make the playoffs in either conference this year, which would mean no one gets a bye in the first round. D. Wood, what's your overriding thought as you listen to some of this?
Well, listen, I understand where Bart is coming from. It's the fact that we're in a 100-year pandemic. This is a season unlike anything that the NFL has ever experienced. But at the same time, you know, if you're the Pittsburgh Steelers, you've been doing things the right way. You've been following the protocols, doing everything that the league has laid out for you. And then here you have your chief rival within the division, the Baltimore Ravens, and one of their staff members goes out here and not doing what he's supposed to be doing, and now the whole team gets infected, and the game gets pushed back. That affects your preparation. Remember, Green, when you're playing on a Thursday, it's not like you're going out there practicing in pads and all those type of things. It's more like a walkthrough situation. So now the game gets pushed back to Sunday. Now you got to change your calendar. Players are creatures of habit, so I can understand why players are upset in this particular situation.